Welcome to Main Event Pong presents Books and Booze with Banshee and DZ with our favorite special guest, Wolfie. Hashtag Wolfie transcends.
Not really that favorite, but okay.
Today on Books and Booze, we are reviewing A Monster Calls by Patrick Hess. It's kind of sad, you guys. Let's just start off right there. So to get us through it right away.
No, this is the shot.
Oh, my bad.
That's for the mix.
Oh, okay. We're gonna actually show you guys us mixing our drinks today. But you know we like to start with a shot first.
That looks rich.
Wolfie's gonna make us shoot whatever this is. What the fuck is this?
Fugu vodka.
Fugu.
Alright, here we go.
That's smooth.
It's not bad. As far as it's not bad actually.
Still got a little in there.
I know, I'm doing it. Leave me alone. Because the book is called A Monster Calls. We are going to make Monster Vodka. Because whatever.
Because we can.
Monsters. It's called Monster. They're the same thing.
So yeah, you gotta put 2 shots in first.
Okay, never mind. I got it. We still got
or just do a good drop at the bottom. No, you don't need to measure it. Just eyeball it. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna be like, woo! Ooh, mine is like fucking kind of like a beer, but kind of like red.
Mine looks like a beer, exactly.
Mine looks like grapefruit juice.
Oh, yours does, dude. There's some drinksters or Harry Potter in that room, given to me by Claire Monahan. Claire, I love you. Also, my shot glass is from a very special person whose name is Echo Madrid, who's fictional. Thank you, Echo. I love you. You get a spell book. You get Hedwig.
How come I don't get a spell book?
You want a spell book?
I'll take the...
So what do we start with?
I'm gonna get this fucking...
The wood part?
Looks like an evil Hedwig.
And I'm gonna get fucking...
Take the little plastic off so
the sorting hat. Or a witch hat or some shit.
The wood part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Duh, you don't stir it with the fucking fringy part. Does it go all the way? Does it go all the way to the bottom?
I want to drink mine in it too.
Yes. Let's see.
Ooh, that's good.
Mine. Okay, so I'll lose mine. So for some reason.
Just let it sit outside.
Ooh, it's good. Let me taste yours. All right, guys.
Now the book. Yeah.
So let's get into the synopsis. So as I said, this is a sad book. So you got Connor, and Connor's mom is ill.
Cancer.
She's dying of cancer.
Yes. Like from the start of the book.
Yeah, right away. Right away.
Well, not right away.
So basically, he wakes up. He says at 8 past midnight or 8 till midnight.
I thought it was 12:07.
12:07 or something like that.
Yeah, 12:07.
12:07. A monster shows up. He talks about this reoccurring nightmare he has. You don't find out what the nightmare is until the end of the book, but it's a nightmare that is worse to a child than a fucking big ass tree monster that comes after him from his house. Right? So pretty much from the beginning you find out about the sickness, no?
Yeah, but okay, from the start though, he says, I don't believe in monsters, that's for babies. But it doesn't say to why he feels so grown up already. So you're thinking,
but
what's the problem with that?
You get the hint that he talks about, I'm doing the dishes, I have to make my own breakfast.
That's the next day though, but yeah.
Yeah, but right away you get the sense kid has to do a lot for himself, and then kind of in the beginning you find out his mom is sick, like right after that.
Yeah.
They give you a little foreshadowing, you find out his mom is sick, you find out he's kind of an awkward kid with no friends.
Or it's not that he has no friends. He kind of had a normal life before. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as I guess a friend from school, Lily, told everybody that his mom had cancer, everybody was standoffish.
Yep.
Well, it's just, you're afraid to say something wrong, so you walk on eggshells and you kind of stay away.
But from his point of view, does he feel that way? He feels isolated.
Yeah. You know what's funny though is because he gets bullied a little bit. And there are parts in the book where he kind of alludes to the fact that at least the bullies make him feel normal. Well, I kind of feel like,
that was the whole, we'll jump ahead because that was an unbelievable part to me in the book that I didn't understand. What was his name, the bully's name again?
Wally?
Was it?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I already
There was
forgot. The big bully, Jackson, Stevenson, whatever. I forgot his name. So his whole thing was, he would bully Connor, but after a while he stopped beating him up. He would stare at him trying to figure him out until he finally figured out that Connor actually liked it because it made him feel normal. So then he took that away from him.
He didn't necessarily like it.
He did. It was a
no. It was like once everything was falling apart when he was stuck at his grandma's and stuff. It was one step back to normal. Yeah. It wasn't a good normal. He did enjoy that part of his day. You know, like when one of the little lackeys said the shit about his mom or the stuff about his mom. That that was the first time you knew he was able to feel that fire. Like, there's a certain, like, most people have felt a loss or a disappointment or something to where, like, an emotion takes over to where your ears burn or, like, your soul, like, you just aren't yourself. Like, you can lose control.
For this guy, if you say any shit about his mom, he will punch you in the fucking wherever.
You don't talk about people's mothers. That's disrespectful. You talk about the person.
What if you're talking about their proverbial mother and not their actual mother, though?
When the bully figured out that, okay, I'm officially going to ignore you now, and he walked away, he said, what did you do so bad that makes you feel like you deserve it? So that's when I kind of thought he kind of enjoyed the punishment, because he wasn't getting punishment anywhere else. He was acting up in school. He was acting up at home. Nobody was even acknowledging him enough to punish him. I think he kind of saw this bully as a form of punishment.
He wasn't necessarily acting up in school.
Well,
at the end.
At the end. But I'm saying, like, he was kind of pissed off that at least this kid was trying to keep him in check. Like, bullies are bullies. Everyone has somebody that'll try to, like, be higher in the pecking order. But the fact that his parents let stuff slide, you know, and it's understandable, but even the principal and stuff, like, he was upset that the principals, like, would let him just, like, do whatever, you know, like, I just want to be a normal kid.
Yeah, he wanted to get punished. It's like he couldn't even get expelled if he wanted to get expelled. Like, there's one point where he's like, here, it's coming, I'm gonna get expelled, and then she's like, I can't call myself a teacher if I punish you.
After he beat the snot.
After he, like, practically killed a kid.
That was probably my favorite part.
He put that kid in the hospital. Did he put him in the hospital?
He did put him in the hospital.
Or something like that? Yeah. I mean, kid deserved it because he's a fucking punk bully. But, like, yeah, he was like, I can't even get expelled for this. So he was acting up a little, but
Well, the monster was like, so if...
I feel like a monster calls isn't necessarily the monster. It's it's calling, like, his monster's coming out. I don't know, metaphor.
If the monster's a metaphor for what's going on inside, then he obviously is acting out.
Yeah.
Because he starts talking about the monster, he destroys his grandma's stuff, he beats the stuffing out of this bully. So the monster is him acting out.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism. It's a necessary evil.
I'm not saying it's not necessary. I think it's totally necessary.
There's this part where he destroys his grandma's antique clock. But let's be real. You tell a kid not to touch something, they're gonna touch something.
Well, yeah.
She never told him not to touch something. You just know there's certain things you know not to mess with.
At one point, she was like, "Nobody touch it." He was like, "Nobody touches it," but my grandma.
Well, no one was allowed in the room.
That's like tempting a kid. Even a normal kid would want to touch that shit.
I think not every household has a room like that, but everyone knows somebody or knows a place where there's a living, like, it's a certain room that's meant for social business, but no one ever uses it.
I don't know. I feel like he does. I feel like he is trying to act out.
Yeah.
So you don't think he is, or you do? Yeah.
Well, even though it's a fast book, like it's like the progression, but there's definite progression that is, like, it goes like he's in full denial. Like, yes, he knows he's lying to himself. Like, anytime you're about to lose somebody in your family or friend, like whatever, death is one of the scariest things to people. Out of every, like, you know, like,
there's nothing scary.
Homicidal killers, monsters, like. Nothing's more scary than the idea of dying alone and the possibility of nothing.
Dying in general,
or even worse,
losing somebody.
Worse than your own death is somebody else's.
And the fact that he's lying to himself, you know he is, he's beating himself up internally. But...
Well, do you remember why, like, in the end, specifically why the monster came? His specific reason?
Yeah.
To get him to admit to himself that he wants his mom to pass away just because he's sick of waiting for it.
He wants it to be over.
But like he said, it's not just one thing. There's two sides to it. He's not just an evil kid that wants it to end.
I didn't see him as evil.
Like
the fact that he feels regret and he hates that he has that dream alone says
that. Yeah, he feels regret for even having that thought. Remember,
but that's normal.
But it's not about him having to do his own dishes or having that feeling. just seeing his mother so weak and not being able to hide her hair and stuff, like, that, you know, like, you take on their weight too, like, you know. And for a 13, like, he's 13, right?
Yep. For a
13-year-old
with
that's why
a
it's deep.
super proper, not very... I think that Connor's grandmother loves him a lot, but she's not a very affectionate woman. And she has to... They say that worse than... I read something the other day that this, like, you know, if you lose your parents, you're an orphan. If you lose your husband, you're a widower. Or a widow. If you lose your wife, you're a widower. But there is no word for someone who loses a child because it's unthinkable. So you think about it, yes, Connor is upset, but his grandma is losing her daughter. Like, yes, you know, it's sad for a child, and you think that everyone wants to take care of the child, but there is nothing worse than that. And he doesn't have a dad. The dad is...
Yes and no.
He does.
I don't even want to talk about
Dad's
that.
a dick. That was my...
I couldn't stand it.
I understand they say that no parent should bury their child. Yes. But there's a difference between an elderly woman burying a girl in her middle age as opposed to a... Like, I lost my father this year. I'm a grown-ass man, like a young man, but, like, there's a difference between, like I felt, that's one thing I loved about this book, all the descriptions about, like, the fucking fire and the hate, like, the anger. Anger is a key, like, thing in coming to terms with loss, but just thinking, like, what my sisters have to deal with, like, it's like there's certain ages, like there's acceptance, but it's hard for everyone. So yes, the grandma's losing her daughter, like she would prefer to die first, but to think that this son is gonna not have his mother, to see him go to his prom, to see him have his first girlfriend, to see his first marriage, to see his first child. That's a lot harder than knowing that there's still something from the mother's legacy that the grandma gets to see, as opposed to the son not getting to show the mother.
That's true. So there's that, and there's the fact that his father is not in the picture. His father,
fuck that guy.
His father is like one of the worst villains I've ever read, and he's not even the villain.
He's not even a villain. He's just so bad.
So his father is. This book is set in England or whatever.
He's more of a sperm donor than a father.
At some point, his father moves to the United States, and
gets married,
United States turns everyone into assholes because that's how he is. And then he marries somebody else, has a baby with her, comes back at the request of his mother, and he's like, Connor is basically like, Dad, I don't want to live with Grandma. Can I come live with you? And he's like, oh, son, there's no room for you.
That's...
Sorry.
I couldn't get past that.
And then he's like, I can't stay for very long because work is calling me. You know what I mean? Like, that's some fucked up... That's some fucked up shit.
I couldn't...
Can you go more?
I cannot understand how come... I cannot understand how come he could not take his son with him to America. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing he could have needed, to rescue him from this situation and take your son to America. I don't get it. His dad is a despicable human being. That's what, I don't know.
And he's like, oh, I came because your mother asked me to. Not even because he's like, oh, I'm worried about my son whose mother is dying. Like, your mom asked me to come.
That's the one thing this book is missing. It was some kind of monster thing that happened to his father. That's the one thing.
It's the monster.
This is an ex-wife, someone you have a kid with.
Fortnight.
Whether it's that, or even if it was like an enemy. Like, if you know someone's dying of cancer, like if you had a shitty past, you would feel some kind of obligation to like make amends with the person.
Well, it sounds like the mother and father got along. He's just a douche. Like they got along, but he just didn't want to take his son.
That was one of the things that. One thing I hated in this book, that like how they kind of handled with the mom being sick, they kept the son away. And like, even though they knew that it was getting worse, stuff wasn't working out, they kept him away. Like, if you know someone's dying, and even if you don't want to tell them the truth, you don't take them to fucking school, you don't keep them away. There is no extra time. Like, you savor every fucking second of that last month, that last week, that last 3 fucking days, because there will just be that regret of thinking, oh, I could have sat there in that chair for 48 hours instead of you making me sit at a fucking empty home.
Well, that could have been.
And even then, like, if you're gonna fucking not keep him there to distract him, don't make him go to fucking school, man. Take that dude to, like, whatever the British equivalent of Disneyland is.
I think
they have shit like that. Probably not, because whatever.
I think they have it.
It's tea and crumpets or whatever.
But I want to say that aside, beyond the monster developing in him, they helped create this monster inside of him as well. By even though he secretly knew the truth, they still didn't.
They
treat
played
him.
along.
They all played along. I mean, the mother, she gets a pass obviously because she's dying, and she was trying to keep hope, alive. She was trying to be hopeful, even though she probably knew that it wasn't looking good. But as far as the grandmother, his father, everybody else who came into contact with them, they probably should have been like, hey, we need to talk.
Let me explain death to you.
Your mother's probably not gonna make it. Like, it wasn't. His father kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was too little, too late. They should have had that conversation.
No, but not even necessarily talking about it. Just have them together the whole fucking time. Like the father doesn't need to be there, but the son should be there.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of times where he's at school, and I'm like, why are you not with your mom right now? I'm like, why are you even talking to these bullies, or why do you even have a chance to be mad at Lily? Like, be with your mom, man. Like.
Oh, that's where I can see. So his mother did that. His mother wanted him to have some kind of normalcy in his life. You can tell by making him still go to school.
But that's selfish on her part.
It is, and that's why it's even more sad because she helped create.
Is it?
No. She probably was the biggest contributor to this monster, more so than Connor himself.
The one thing, like, you knew where this whole story was going the whole time, but I felt like the ending just fucking cut off. Like that's
true.
it. That's it. Like,
could have easily been 72.
That was not like he has a certain. He even noticed the minutes till 12:07, and it's just like done. Like, wait, hold on. They could have so much fucking more in that last 15 minutes of life. Like,
yeah. So we talked a little bit about, the monster, what the monster represents. But let's talk about the symbolic monster.
The actual yew tree.
So there is actually a monster, or so Connor thinks, in
okay,
the book.
you mean another way around. The actual, not symbolic. You mean, because we've been talking about the symbolic the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You mean the actual
not him,
monster.
the tree itself.
Yeah, let's talk about...
The real...
Look, let's talk about the monster.
This is actually... That's cool that it's actually based off real... what's that shit called? About, like, real monsters and real folklore?
Yeah, folklore.
Like, it's actually like a druidic thing. The yew tree and all that, like...
Or Groot.
It's Groot.
It's actual
He is Groot.
It was Groot. When I saw the trailer because the movie's coming out, I was like, Groot.
Yeah. When I read it the whole time, I was thinking Groot.
I was thinking more like Lord of the Rings, treant kind of.
But you gotta see right away, even if you haven't read this book and you think we're spoiling it for you, which we do that on Books and Booze. But even
read the books before.
Even if we don't tell them which books we're gonna read. If you've read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, they kind of take a break to actually show you the tale of the three brothers. It's also in Beetle and the Bard. It kind of reminded me of that. So basically the monster comes to Connor and says, you will be afraid of me at the end of this. And so what I was going to say before is, even if you haven't read the book and you think we're spoiling it for us, right away, you know that the monster is going to teach Connor a lesson because it's Liam Neeson. And that motherfucker is always like the guidance character. He's like Aslan, Qui-Gon. Who else is he?
It's either Liam Neeson or Morgan Freeman.
The guy from Taken. I don't know his name in Taken.
He's always like, okay, hold up. Let me instruct and guide you. Like, if
he's
Liam Neeson is
Love Actually, him and the little boy.
Yeah, he's teaching. That's what I'm saying. He does that part really well, like the mentor or whatever. He comes to Connor and he's like, I'm going to tell you 3 stories of my past life. And you find out that the monster can become many things, which right away makes you think, okay, he's a dream. He's
It's not that he can become many things. Like, he is life and death. He is like kind of like Earth. Like, he is essence. So when he needs to take form for people, the easiest thing to do is the tree.
Yeah, and I think that part of the reason he manifested as a tree for Connor is because later you find out there's an experimental cancer treatment that the mom is using where it involves yew tree, something about a yew tree.
That's also in one of the stories, the apothecary guy.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's real or not. Is it?
The yew tree? Yes.
Yeah.
It's used for stuff, yes.
I know.
It exists.
I remember, like, when I read The
No.
Fault in Our Stars, John Green was like, look, this treatment in this book is fictional, so nobody be like, where
No,
can
that's
I get
why I
that?
looked up yew tree, and there's a whole, like, druidic people.
I love
and
that he
there's
looks
like,
up
history.
shit. Yeah.
I Google everything.
He Googles stuff all day. If you say something to him, he's like, let me Google it.
I guess.
Anyways, back to the book. The monster tells Connor 3 tales, and I really liked the monsters part.
I did too.
The monsters part or the tales?
Both. But the tales I really liked.
I felt like the tales were too much fables and not actually happen. Like they served their purpose as a lesson about how there's more sides to every story and it's not finite. Like but like how he's like, oh, this is kind of bullshit. Like, oh, this is fake. Like, oh, you kidding me? You're telling me this? Yeah. Like, I was kind of like the same thing. I'm like,
I like that a lot.
They're kind of fantasy. The first one is like there's a king who has all these sons and they all die except for the youngest son, and then he remarries a witch.
His grandson.
Yeah, his grandson. Then he remarries a witch, and the witch takes over, right?
Well, she's not a witch.
She's not necessarily a witch. The people think she's a witch because they thought he was sick, dying. People in the court, like everyone,
she steals the kingdom,
thought he was being poisoned. You know how rumors spread, and then he does die, and they still think, oh, and he, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then it turns out, you know, the monster's like, oh, well, I saved the witch, and Connor's like, why'd you save the witch? She's evil, and he was like, was she? Was she evil? And it turns out the prince, like the gallant prince or whatever, who's allegedly the hero, plotted her death because he thought she was going to try to overtake him. Who knows if she was or not.
He killed his own beloved in cold blood to save his kingdom.
Yep. To me, I kind of felt like the purpose of that story was to be like, to kind of teach Connor, I don't know.
You'll do bad things to serve your own means.
There's that, and then there's like bad things happen to good people. So, you know, your mom's gonna die, but bad things happen to good people. Or like maybe like, yeah, there's this bully who's attacking you. I don't know. There could be a million different reasons.
I might be getting a little too drunk to break down this story.
Let's talk about our favorite character. Okay. We always talk about our favorite character. You go first.
Well, I mean, how is it not to like Connor? Really, I guess if I'm gonna go with my favorite character, I like Connor a lot, but I guess I'm gonna go with the Giant. The Giant is like a good Apocalypse from X-Men. Like he's very straightforward, but at the end he starts to get more tender. Like it's interesting because
he becomes a father.
Yeah, the Giant in the beginning, the Giant's very like a bad guy kind of, but then he becomes tender and it's like tough love. That's what the Giant is. He's tough love, and he's like Nick said, probably more of a father than his actual father was ever to him. So the Giant, and the Giant's my favorite character. Just he's everything. He's Mufasa. He's everything. He's every father figure.
Did you imagine James Earl Jones' voice?
No.
I imagine Liam Neeson, but that's only because I had already seen the trailer.
Patrick Stewart. I actually got Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Because he's British, and it's kind of like a harder sound. So Patrick Stewart's who I heard actually, but a little bit of Groot. I can't explain.
I can't pick an actor that's probably doing the voice, but it's a real guttural kind of.
Well, Homeboy would do a good job. Black dude, can't think of his name. You know his name. You always remember
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
I fucking love Idris Elba, you guys. God.
He would kill.
No, what about the black dude from Underworld?
Oh, the guy Rays.
Oh, the dude with the really, really deep voice.
Rays, I love that dude.
He's a writer and director. Like,
yeah, he
awesome.
is. Isn't he like all like
He did. Yeah.
My favorite character, I do like the monster, but I'm gonna go with a mum in this one.
God damn it! I'll change my answer.
Who?
You don't have to.
Oh,
and the reason why is because I think this bitch is a really good mom.
She is.
She's such a good mother, you know. And I do think she's optimistic and really does have hope. I don't think she leads Connor astray. I think that she just believes that, you know, if I wish for it hard enough, if I want the best for my son, if I pray for it, that I will survive this. She doesn't accept defeat until the end.
I agree.
Dude, or when he's talking about like the day they had, like the special day of like the movies and snacks and like that, and then she laid it on him like, fuck.
I agree. I still blame her for
when she dies.
Part of this monster thing, but you're absolutely right. She did anything a good mother would do.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And she did it by herself, and you know she even tried to get Connor's dad back.
you have to have fucking hope, whether you know it's gonna happen. Like you can't stop. You can't just give up. You can't just stop praying. You can't hope.
And that's what sucks about it. I'm not saying that she's a horrible person by not being honest. She did like what I would do. She's being hopeful.
But
it just sucks because no matter what,
she's being dishonest. I think she wholeheartedly. I think maybe she is in, just like Connor's in denial with himself that he wants it to end. I think she's in denial with herself.
Maybe
she wants to believe so much that she's going to make it through it, not just for herself, but also for Connor, for all the things you said, so that she can see her kid go to prom and get married and, get promoted at work and, graduate from high school. I feel like that her child is her life, and she knows she's going to miss out on stuff with him.
All right, favorite character?
Well, no, the tree is awesome for, throughout, he does become more the father. I like him when he's more like the stern, face the facts. But going back to what we were talking about, how it's not a matter of lying to yourself or having false hope, but it's. Where am I going? I just had a thought and it just went.
It's fun. It's the drink and the emotion.
We got a lot going drinking?
On. Yeah, man.
I've added more fugu to mine. I've been sipping because
you better fucking drink this shit.
I don't feel like the monster was telling him to accept her death, but he was more like, you don't need to hate on yourself for wishing that it would end.
Yeah.
Because even though he was lying to himself, you can lie to yourself and still know the truth. He knew the fucking truth. He knew she was gonna die. Even though you say you're lying to yourself, you're not truly. You're just hoping it isn't what you know it is. It's not lying to yourself. You're just hoping it isn't what you know it is. Mm-hmm. But so I love the mom. She was a great mom. I'm sad she's out of his life. Connor was an awesome kid. I'm glad he's able to take care of himself. He grew as a person, and it's weird that I didn't expect him to grow before she died. He accepted it before. But there's going to be a long term after she dies that he's going to be dealing with too. So, but the one person,
that's not what this book
is
about.
The one person I really liked, I didn't like at first. I didn't like the grandma, but that last scene with her in the car, I liked the grandma.
I liked the grandma, and like I said, I feel like I know you said, and you've gone through this, but I do think that it's probably super hard to lose a child. I don't have children. I can't imagine losing my cat. Okay? Imagine a child. God forbid. I don't know. I just think it's, oh God. And to then have to raise your grandson, and this bitch never raised no boys. She only raised, a female. She's I imagine it's different.
She's very structured too. That relationship is going to be just as hard for her.
Well, she said that earlier. It's I know we're cut from a different cloth, but we will learn to do this.
Yeah.
There's a big enough generational gap between parents and their children, but grandparents and their children is even worse, man.
Yeah.
But not necessarily so, because just in that relationship, to him, that grandma's weird. Because my grandparents, we're different generations, but different ideals, but you enjoyed their time. He didn't enjoy having her around.
Hated having
my grandparents, I would go stay at their house for the weekend and it'd be a party,
Yep.
So it's just another thing of him accepting where his life's gonna lead him,
Even though his dad should have took him. Rate this?
Yes, rate the book. You start. Since we started over here.
What are we going in here?
1 to 5.
I'm going 5. This is one of the greatest emotional, involved kind of, whether it's if you have a young kid that's going through this shit, that's a great book. If you're an adult going through this shit, that's a great book. It is exactly what you think. It's fucking awesome. And just the descriptions, he gets really deep in the descriptions, but it's fucking perfect, and it envelops you. It's fucking good. I enjoyed it.
I was gonna give it a 4, but now that you mention it, and now that I've said it, when a book can make you feel this much, it has to be a 5. It's a 5. To inspire that much emotion where I was literally crying, it was like The Fault in Our Stars. It's not a perfect book, but man, that shit made me cry so bad. I mean, how can it not be a 5? It's a 5. Like, to me, like I said, as a person with human emotion, if a writer can make me feel like that, it's a 5.
Bad books don't make you feel anything, but good books can make you.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I'm jumping on this too and saying a 5. This
Perfect
book,
score.
This book right here is anybody who's ever lost anybody who's in the process of losing somebody, or anybody who's like losing a part of themselves or something, anything. This book, anybody who has anybody in the hospital, this book right here will dig away at you and even help you deal with your own monster. So I think we all give it a 5 and we suggest it to all you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to feel, world.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Destruction is a part of healing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So is anger and rage and beating up bullies.
Yep.
I wish I had a bully right now.
Alright, well thank you for dealing with the seriousness of this review.
Next time, tell them about the book. We have to give them a book for next time, so we don't ruin
next
books.
time we're gonna do a pretty popular book. We're gonna do Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Nuff has read that series and he actually likes it, I'm pretty sure. So he's gonna be with us. And our friend Scott, you haven't met him yet, you'll meet him. He's really cool.
Scott. That's Scott.
Thank you for joining us here at Books and Booze with Banshee and Dweez with special guest Wolfie. Hashtag Wolfie transcends. You know what? This Monster Vodka was pretty good, world.
I know, I'm pretty drunk.
You should drink.
I'm sobering up and I need more.
But you know what? You have energy too. You're like kind of drunk, but you're like, hey, ring. All right, anyways, thank you for joining us. Bye.